Put this on repeat.
Wonder if you even notice me. You gotta feel me. When I'm your girl, just wanna be your girl.
What's up, y'all? My name is Craig and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. So last week, man, I got greedy, bro. I was up 2%, then I ended up closing for a loss, taking a loss on a trade that I was about to win, that I could have made a 2% gain on my account. So what really happened is that I rushed passing the account. Like, I was now looking at myself passing the account real quick and didn't take into consideration that it's a step-by-step thing. Like, you have to get to a stage so that you can get to another stage. So let's say I was up around 7%. Then if I closed that 2% gain, I would have been up 9%. Then I would have been left with 1% to pass the account. So other than me closing the trade for that 2% gain, I ended up closing a loss. That was on Friday, and yesterday on Monday I took another loss. So now we're down and we're around 5% on the account. You can still pass the challenge. You can still pass the account this week, next week. I don't know. We'll see if I'm getting any setups, so I'm getting good trades. Yeah, man, let me show you the trades that I took, because this is a trade recap video where I'll be showing you the trade that I took on my previous weeks or previous days, explaining the trades a little bit, showing you how I went about analyzing the trade, what I was thinking when I was taking the trade. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, you can leave a like and subscribe. And for those that are coming back, the everyday viewers, my number one people, my favorite people in the world, you know what to do, man. Just leave a like and tune in into the journey, bro, until we are up there, bro, because it's only going up from now. So we're definitely going to start off by looking at our 15k challenge account that we are currently trading from FundedNext. So right now we're up 5% on the account, left with 4.39% to pass the account. Yeah, man, still valid. It's a one-step challenge account and just need to reach 10% so that we are funded, and we're hoping to get funded this month, bro. So let me get into the trades that I took last week on Friday. So last week I did take, how many trades did I take last week? I think I talked about it on the previous videos, but I think I took a few trades last week, maybe 2 trades. So yeah, this was the trade on Friday. Let me just zoom in. So this was the trade on Friday, a buy trade, which I ended up closing for a loss because I was targeting these highs right here. I had these highs, not these highs. Yeah, because I was targeting those highs right up there. So my take profit was just around that area above those highs. Let me just delete this for a second so that I can explain this trade clearly. So for this trade we were clearly above the EMAs. For this trade we were clearly above the EMA, the 500 EMA and my 50 EMA. And this is Asian session. The yellow zone is Asian session, then comes London session. So I start trading from London session. So once we came into London session, we had a little bit of consolidation there, but the trend was already bullish since we had this minor downtrend, which we broke with this push up. So we had this minor downtrend, then you broke these highs, these Asian highs right here, and we are above, and the market was playing above the Asian highs. So we just wanted to continue the trend with the EMA supporting our buyers and the 50 EMA for our entry. Simple as that, bro. So I took my entry right around, let me remove this. I took my entry right around this zone. After we retested this favorable gap right here. So I took my entry right around that zone with my stops right there. Targeting 1:3 point something. It was 1:3.2 or 1:3.5. Was it 3.5? My targets were based off of this. So I just wanted to pass the account with this one trade. That's why I ended up taking a loss instead of winning. So this is something to take note in your trading journey, that you don't need to rush anything, bro. Like, you just need to take it step by step. If I had, let's say in this trade, if I had closed my 2% gain, if I closed this 2% gain that I had, and the account was currently on 7%, I would have been up 9% on the account and left with just 1% to pass the challenge. But just because I got greedy, this is why you don't need to be greedy in the markets, bro. Just because I got greedy, I ended up taking a loss for something that I should have closed for a 2%. Because when I'm taking these trades, this is saying risk to reward ratio 2.5, and this was around 2%. Around these areas was around 2%. Because when I'm taking these trades, I risk 0.8%, so that when I get commissioned, it's around 1% on the account, if you get what I'm saying. So this was the trade that I took on Friday. Beautiful trade, beautiful setup, but ended up being a loss just because I got greedy, and something I have to fix about myself. And sometimes I do experience the fear of missing out in the markets, and it messes up with some trades that I take. So this was a loss on Friday, which I wasn't supposed to take. I was supposed to close my 2% gain and be up 7% and be up 9% on the challenge. Then come Monday, yesterday on Monday, today is a Tuesday, the 5th of May. So today's the Tuesday, the 5th of May. Yesterday on Monday, I took another trade, an impulsive trade, which I shouldn't have taken, because I normally trade London session and a bit of New York session. So I started looking at the markets around 10 a.m. my time, or let's say 9:30 my time in Zimbabwe. So right now it's 9 minutes to 9 a.m. That's why I'm making this video. I still have time to make this video, analyze, and then look at the current markets and the current charts for today's trading. So yesterday it was a loss because I took this trade around 8 a.m. here. I took this trade right there. So the only issue with this trade is after hitting these highs, it my stop loss just below this loss. So the only issue with this trade is we were trending kind of bearish at the time, and this was a little consolidation that was happening, right? So we were trending kind of bearish at the time with that little consolidation happening at the time. And we were not yet in London session, so the market could still manipulate into stuff before it actually moves. So I woke up and I went into the charts, and I'm looking at the charts. I'm seeing, okay, we've just broken above this EMA, and we are above this 50 SMA, and we're above the 500 EMA. We might have a good trade right now. So FOMO, fear of missing out. That's when I experienced FOMO right here, and I took this trade, bro, and it was a very bad trade, a very bad time to take the trade because we are trending down. After some minutes, once London session came, I'm like, okay, we're now in London session, and we are clearly bearish in these markets, and we are trending below the 50 EMA. Simple as that, bro. Once you put the 50 EMA on your charts, everything becomes simple and clear for your entries, and the 500 EMA for the higher time frame trends, for the trends that take a while to complete. For example, let's go back into last week's or the last 2 weeks trading. Last week's trading, we were below the 500 EMA, so the market had a retracement to the around the 500 EMA. Then we completed the range, taking out this loss. So basically, this is what I was expecting right here, even though the trend was still bearish. So I was expecting the markets to retrace to the 500 EMA, then it gave us a bullish signal, like a bullish minor trend or a bullish fractal trend, then push to this highs right here. And that didn't happen because of being greedy. So now, just because of the fear of missing out, so I took this trade, a very bad trade. The ideology behind the trade was, with this fair value gap right here, we retested the fair value gap, retested the 50 smooth moving average. Then right around this area, I thought buyers were stepping in, and we were about to shoot to these highs, not knowing that, man, I need to just trade my sessions. I trade on London session. If I trade my sessions, nothing goes wrong, because my channel can attest to that, my history can attest to that. I don't trade Asian session. I can trade pre-London session, like right around 9 a.m. to 10 a.m, not around 8 a.m. And I just have to go with the trend, follow the trend. So this was the trade that I took. Another loss. Another loss in the books. That's why now we are around 5% on the account instead of being around 8%. If I had closed this trade, this Friday trade, for that 2% gain to be around 9%, we would have been down 2% today when you're entering this trade. But it's fine though. This is what happens in the markets. This is what you experience while you're trading. That's why I'm here to show you everything I go through, so that you can have a clear view of what really happens when you start trading, when you get into trading, and not have the ideology that you're going to be perfect all the time, because you are not robots. Only robots can be perfect, and we are human. That's human nature to make mistakes sometimes. So let me just see the trade history on my trade. Why is it not showing yesterday's trade on the trade on Friday? Okay, let me just go into the history. Let's see. Yeah, so this is not showing there. It should show. When was Friday? This is not showing. It should show that I took a trade right here on Friday. Then it's not showing the trade that I took yesterday, also on Monday, but it's showing this trade that I took. But if you look here, you can see the dates. This is the 1st of May, which was on Friday, then the 4th of May, which was yesterday on Monday. And this is my funded account, 5k funded account, which is now down 3.5%. This account is now down 3.5%, and I know I'm going to recover, get a payout when it's time for a payout. Oh yeah, I understand why it's not showing right now, because it is to refresh, because today is my payout date, I think, on this 5k account. Let me go and see. Today was supposed to be my payout date on this 5k account, so it has to refresh. Even though it will refresh, it will start off with the loss. Yeah, today is the 5th of May, and it was supposed to be my payout date. Actually, my payout date is tomorrow, so it should show. So on this account, I'm down 3.52%. If I get a good trade today, it might end in break even or in a little bit of profit, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't need to rush anything. I don't need to pressure myself on anything. I don't like to look at these payout dates, because it puts unnecessary pressure on myself. And that's something you need to avoid when you're trading, like the social media pressure, the withdrawal pressure. Like, don't need to have that pressure that you need to take out money from the account, especially when you're trading funded accounts. You don't need to have that pressure that you want to withdraw. Of course, you need to pass the challenge. Some may say you need to pass the challenge fast, so that you can get a payout and reward yourself, and so that you can get a payout and recover the amount you spent on buying the challenge, and then reward yourself, and so on. And I've already done that with the 5k account. I've already made like 4 or 5 payouts on the account, and I'm not rushing anything. I just need to pass this account, which I know I'm going to do. I've been having this account for quite a long time, since last year in November. So yeah, it's about time that we pass the account and go into the next steps of my trading journey. So this was the trade that I took yesterday, and this was the trade that I took on Friday. The trade that I took on Friday, I'm actually drawing this wrong. I took this trade during London session. Let me reanalyze this. Let's see. I took this trade during London session, even though during New York session I missed this London session entry, and I got this New York session entry. I'll show you the screenshot right around here. So my entry was based off this little favored gap that you had there. So my entry was right there, a snapper entry with my stop right at this loss, and I was targeting that those highs. So yeah, it was looking like this, to be exact. I'll show you the screenshot. So my trade did push, then retraced, then hit my stop loss. Yeah man, so let's look into today's markets. So before I look at EURUSD or GBP USD, I have to look at the XY and see what the dollar index is doing. So right now the dollar index is currently bullish, as you can see, and you can go into the higher time frame and just see where we're sitting at on the higher time frame. Okay, I like how this is looking on the higher time frame, because the DXY is showing that we might get some sells. You might get a rejection from here going down there, which might happen today, tomorrow, this week, or any day. We should be fine. So this is just the higher time frame, just to have an idea what we'll be expecting during the week. or during the month if I look at the daily time frame. So during this week I'll be expecting maybe we get a push to these lows to just go with this little trend. You see, simple as that, right? You don't need to complicate things, you don't need to do so much. This is what I'm expecting. I'm a day trader, so swing traders might be looking at this as a break of structure. They draw their fibs from a high to a low. What do I want to do? Draw their fibs from a high to a low, then enter from the 0.618 level or the 0.71 level. Simple as that. And this is the entries on the optimum trading zone, the OTC or OTZ, this area right here, optimum trading zone to start selling for the swing traders. But I'm a day trader, so we might have maybe a push then down, or just start pushing down. But I'm liking the way it's looking, because we might get some good sales this week or these coming days. So let me go back to my entry time frame, which is the 15-minute time frame. I don't complicate things when I'm trading. I just need it simple as that. So what I'll be expecting today is us to just have a little, let me remove this, for us to just have a little bearish range to go, a little bearish range to trade with. And yeah, man, this is what I'll be expecting today, and I think I'm going to get a good trade. So this is what I'm expecting on DXY. So on EURUSD, I'm expecting to buy. And then EURUSD, I'm expecting to buy. GBP USD, the same, expecting to buy. NZD USD, the same, expecting to buy. And these are the pairs that I just trade. Simple as that. And seems like do we have a support zone that I knocked out from the higher time frame for this consolidation on the NZD USD pair. But I would like to trade on EURUSD today. If we eventually do get buys, because we had this break of structure on the higher time frame right here. We had this break of structure. Because we had this break of structure on the higher time frame right here. And ooh, this is going to be good this week. If we do start buying, this is going to be a good week. But the market might buy for today, then tomorrow just continue this bearish trend. So right now I'll be expecting us to take out these highs. To have this break of structure to the upside, retrace and come close to the 50 EMA, then push bullish. That's my trade for today. So see you on the next video, and I hope in the next video I'll be showing you the trade that I took today for this beautiful buy. Okay, so this was the end of the video. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and catch you on the next one.
Okay, bye.